bring you news from Punjab as this very given point. What are we talking about? We're talking about the deported migrants, Indian migrants who have been brought to India from the United States. On Wednesday, 104 Indian nationals deported from the US for living illegally arrived in Amritsar aboard a US military C-17 aircraft. The deportees included people from Punjab, around 30, Haryana 33, Gujarat 33, again 3 from Maharashtra, 3 from Uttar Pradesh, 2 from Chandigarh. These were the numbers. Now, this marks the first deportation under President Trump's crackdown on illegal immigration. The deportees underwent questioning and arrangements were made for their return to their hometowns. Jaspal Singh, one of the 104 deportees brought to Amritsar on a US aircraft Wednesday, said to the news organization PTI that, and I quote them, their hands and legs were cuffed throughout the journey and only unshackled after landing. 36-year-old from Hardorwal village, Gurdaspur, was apprehended by US Border Patrol on January 24, and this marks the very first group of Indian deportees under the Trump administration's crackdown on illegal immigration. This deportation is a part of Trump's broader immigration efforts, which have intensified since he took office. India has committed to supporting the repatriation of citizens overstaying or residing illegally abroad. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar emphasized India's stance against illegal immigration, often linked to these organized crime. Meanwhile, the Indian embassy in Libya has facilitated the return of 18 Indian nationals stranded in Benghazi after being duped by fake recruitment agents. Their embassy worked with local authorities to arrange travel documents, and the workers are expected to arrive in India soon. On a related note, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in fact scheduled to visit the United States next week itself for a meeting with President Donald Trump, making him one of the first international leaders to meet Trump in his second term. This is the particular update, or rather the story that we are covering with regards to the deportation that has started from the United States to different countries, India being one of them. Might I remind you, 18,000 migrants have in fact been identified in the United States who are illegally staying there. Indian government has been spoken to, and their identification, or rather the identities, have been verified by the very Indian government. And this is the first batch of Indians who've been sent back from the United States.
Administration's deportation, I think two or three things are being forgotten by the public. Number one, this is not the first such deportation, won't be the last. Even before Trump came, during the Biden administration, in the last fiscal year, which ended in September 2024, there were already 1,100 Indians sent back from America, illegal Indians. The Americans estimate there are 725,000 undocumented Indians who are eligible for deportation. And in the course of the last 4 years, they have arrested 170,000, almost 2 lakh Indians in their two borders with Canada and Mexico. All these people, they say, are there illegally. If they are citizens of India, we have an obligation to take them back. There is no debate about that. We have to take them back. People, if they want to go to America legally, are free to go with a visa, with a job, or as a tourist, or whatever, or to study, whatever it may be. But when you stay either without documentation or illegally or without work permit and you try and work, you are subject to the laws of that country, whether it's America or any other country. If tomorrow Mr. Amit Shah catches a Bangladeshi migrant working in India, he won't deport him. Same story. If an Indian is caught working in America and is not legally there, he'll be deported. Story is the same for every country. Immigration rules apply.
Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have Mohit Malhotra joining us live from Amritsar at this given point to bring us more details. Mohit, very good morning to you. सबसे पहले आपसे ये पूछना चाहूँगी कि ये जो परिस्थितियों के बारे में हमें जानकारी मिल रही है, जिन परिस्थितियों में इनको लाया गया है, ये 104 डिपोटीज को इंडिया वापस लाया गया है, क्यों इस परिस्थिति में लाया गया? क्यों उनके हाथ पैर ऐसे बांध दिए गए थे जबकि वो उनको ऑलरेडी मिलिट्री प्लेन में वापस लेके आ रहे थे? और इसके बारे में हमें और क्या जानकारी मिल रही है इनसे?
देखिए, जो डिपोटीज आए हैं उनमें से कुछ लोगों से हमारी बात हुई है। उनका ये कहना है कि उनको भी समझ में नहीं आया, क्योंकि उन्होंने किसी भी तरह से जो अमेरिकन अथॉरिटीज़ थी उनको रेजिस्ट नहीं किया कि कोई किसी तरह से कोई भागने की कोशिश नहीं की। जब उनसे पूछा गया और वो डॉक्यूमेंट्स नहीं दिखा पाए तो उसके बाद उनको अरेस्ट किया गया और उनके हैंडकफ्ड कर दिए गए और उनके पैर भी बांध दिए गए। तो ये एक बड़ी बात है कि जब वो लोग खुद ही अपने आप को एक तरह से
There is a technical glitch there. We'll try and reconnect with our colleague in Amritsar at this given point. But that is the particular situation that we're bringing to you. 104 deportees brought back. We're trying to understand why exactly were they brought back under the circumstances that they were brought back in, their hands and feet being tied up by the authorities, because from what we are learning from our reporter itself, they did not try resisting the authorities once the immigration policy was the executive orders from the president was in fact being executed by the American authorities there. Also, we need to understand, when we speak of Punjab specifically at this given point, 33 of them were Punjabis, as from what we are learning at this given point among the 104 deportees. The situation is quite concerning there, because we oftentimes see such fake recruitment agencies giving them false assurances that yes, they will be able to send families and their loved ones to the US or to different places across the world by taking a lump sum amount of almost 40-50 lakhs. But ultimately, this is the situation we find them in, that they are illegal immigrants across the globe in different countries. Well, let me first play out this particular reaction by Manikam Tagore for you on this very matter.
And I'm unable to see these kind of visuals, and when we see Indians being the way they had been treated, putting with chained, both of their hands being chained and treated inhumanly from the US administration. And I'm unable to understand what Mr. Modi ji's relationship with Mr. Trump is doing. And Mr. Jaishankar, who wants everybody else that India has been insulted, he keeps on telling it. What about this thing? What about this is not insult? What you are doing as External Affairs Minister? It is very unfortunate that the External Affairs Ministry is keeping mum and is unable to speak a voice against this kind of inhuman treatment to those Indians. We need to understand that if they had gone illegally, deporting is a different issue. That's the country's issues. But treating them with dignity is more important, and Indian government should have intervened and expressed these things. And we hope that the External Affairs Minister makes a statement on this thing.
With that, we have Mohit Malhotra back with us. Mohit, अगर आप हमें सुन सकते हैं तो प्लीज़ कंटिन्यू कीजिए. आप हमें जानकारी दे रहे थे कि क्या क्या बातचीत हुई है जो लोग रिपोर्ट किए गए हैं उनके साथ.
देखिए, जो ज़्यादातर डिपोटीज हैं उनका ये सीधे तौर पे ये कहना है कि वो डोंकी रूट से ही गए थे और अमेरिका में एंटर हुए. 4 से 5 महीने कुछ लोगों को टाइम लग गया, और उसके बाद जैसे ही वो एंटर हुए उसके बाद जो इमिग्रेशन अथॉरिटीज़ हैं उन्होंने उनको वापस डिपोर्ट कर दिया. और जब तक वो प्लेन में नहीं बैठे थे उनको नहीं पता था कि वो वापस आ रहे हैं. साथ ही ये लोग कह रहे हैं कि इन्होंने जब इनसे डॉक्यूमेंट्स मांगे गए और ये नहीं दिखा पाए तो उसके बाद इन्होंने कोई ऐसा रेजिस्ट नहीं किया था, भागने की कोशिश नहीं की थी, लेकिन फिर भी इनके हैंडकफ्ड कर दिए गए, पैर बांध दिए गए, और इनको पूरी की पूरी जो जर्नी थी इसके दौरान भी इनको बांध कर ही रखा गया. और इनका सीधे तौर पे कहना है कि जिस प्लेन में आए थे C-17 जो US आर्मी का प्लेन है, उसके अंदर भी कंडीशंस ठीक नहीं थी, सीट्स कंफर्टेबल नहीं थी और एक ही टॉयलेट था, तो काफ़ी दिक्कत इनको हुई जब ये लोग वापस पहुँचे हैं. तो इनमें से ज़्यादातर जो लोग हैं उनकी ये काफ़ी पुअर फैमिली से आते हैं. इनका ये सीधे तौर पे कहना है कि इनकी फैमिलीज़ ने काफ़ी ज़्यादा पैसे उधार पर लेकर, कईयों ने इंटरेस्ट पर पैसा लेकर इनको फ़ौरन भेजा था और इसी उम्मीद के साथ कि ये जाएंगे और वहाँ पर जाकर सेटल हो जाएंगे. लेकिन ये लोग सीधे तौर पे ये मान रहे हैं कि ये डंकी रूट से गए थे और इसी डंकी रूट की जाने की वजह से ही इनका जो डिपोर्टेशन है वो हुआ. और इनमें से कई लोग ऐसे भी हैं जो 10 या 15 दिन पहले या 1 मंथ पहले ही US पहुँचे थे और अभी वहाँ पर उन्होंने काम करना शुरू किया था, लेकिन उससे पहले ही जो यूएस अथॉरिटीज़ हैं उन्होंने इनको पकड़ लिया और सीधा इनको इंडिया डिपोर्ट कर दिया गया है।
जी मोहित, हमें ये सारी जानकारी देने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया। वेल, दैट इज़ व्हाट वी आर लर्निंग। इन फैक्ट द वेरी रूट इज कॉल्ड अ donkey route, as my colleague was also mentioning. That is the route that they use to reach not just the United States at this given point, let me tell you, but also other countries where they are given hopes that yes, they can start a very new life in those very countries by these fake recruitment agencies itself. With that, let me move on and just play out this particular response coming from Priyanka Chaturvedi. Let's listen in.
What is extremely unfortunate is when they were being deported, they were handcuffed and they were made to look like criminals. What was their criminality? And it's a failure of our, I would say, our Prime Minister, our foreign relations with US, for them to be sent out like this. What does it show? In a sense that these people have not done any crime in the US, but being handcuffed and sent back is extremely unfortunate. I hope they will take it up strongly with America, that this is not how you treat our Indian citizens. All they went to America was for a better life, better job opportunities, and better outcomes. For them to be treated like this was, I think, in bad taste, and I hope that the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, as well as the External Affairs Minister takes it up strongly with America.